Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to your own Silicon Valley Tech Talks channel. This is your host, Faisal Bhattu from San Jose, California. I hope you're all doing great. In today's show, we're going to learn about artificial intelligence and ChatGPT. If you are someone who doesn't know much about these topics or want to start your learning journey, I hope you will find this show really useful. We are fortunate to have Dr. Farooq Anjum as our guest today. Dr. Farooq got his PhD from University of Maryland, College Park. He started his professional journey at Bellcore, which was a research lab spun off from AT&T's Bell Labs. He worked at Qualcomm on first ever App Store. He then founded his own company, GrowGuru, which helped farmers planning their irrigation systems using Internet of Things and AI tools. Dr. Farooq is currently in the process of founding a new company which will solve problems using crypto and AI tools. Apart from industry contributions, he has also been active in academia. He has taught at University of Pennsylvania, Rutgers, and Harrisburg universities. He is also the author of three books. One of his recent book, AI for Beginners, is available on Amazon in digital version. So without any further delay, let's go and talk to Dr. Farooq and get an overview on AI and ChatGPT. Hello, Dr. Farooq. Welcome to our show. Thanks for joining us from Canada. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for having me on the show, Faisal.
You're very welcome. So, Dr. Farooq, tell us how will you explain what AI is to someone who doesn't know about it and have only heard about the name?
So AI stands for artificial intelligence, and it's all and AI systems are all about building human-like intelligent systems. Humans have been trying to build intelligent systems since several years. The first workshop trying to build AI systems was sometime in 1956. Think about it. And there have been ebbs and falls, the winters and the progress, stuff like that. And that's what an AI system is. It's a system that will be similar, that will exhibit similar intelligence as to a human being, a human-like intelligence system.
Yeah. So, Dr. Farooq, can you also categorize various kind of AI systems because we hear names like machine learning and some sort of analytics or many different forms of AI. So, is there a way to easily categorize what various AI subsystems are?
So people have given various requirements that a system has to satisfy to be called as an AI system. I like to boil it down, and I've written a book also about this, but I say there are two requirements for a system to exhibit in order for a system to be called as an artificially intelligent system. So let me start with that, and then I'll talk about the different types of AI systems. So the two requirements that I mentioned, the first requirement is the system should learn over a period of time. It's not a system that you create using the standard traditional software programming. You code it up and the system stays just like that unless human being gets involved and modifies the system. So an AI system, first requirement, it should change itself. It should modify itself over a period of time in response to the changes in the environment. That's the first requirement. And the second requirement for a system to be called as an AI system, based on my opinion, is the system should learn something that is not easy for humans to learn. For example, these days we hear about self-driving cars. Driving is not easy. Think about it. When you started out learning how to drive, it took you a while to learn how to drive. But after a while, it might become second nature to you. But it took a while for you to learn about driving. So the process required some effort. So an AI system also should be learning things that require some effort on the part of humans. Let me now talk about the two general type of AI systems. There are two general type of AI systems. One are specialized AI systems. The other are what are called as artificial general intelligence systems. So specialized AI systems are the systems that we see in many of our situations in regular life, such as you have Google Maps. It learns over a period of time. And you have Siri, you have all these different systems. They learn over a period of time, but they can only do one job and one job very well. On the other hand, an artificial general intelligence system, AGI system, is a system that can do multiple tasks. So think about me. I had to go out early in the morning. I did drive the car, and then I was reading some book about a particular topic, blockchains, AI, whatever it is. And now I'm talking to you. I can do multiple different things as a human being. A system, artificial intelligence system that can do all these different things is with what will be called as the AGI system. Now there are some discussions about how far away are we from creating AGI systems. There is some debate. Some people say we are maybe decades away from having AGI systems. Some others say maybe it's closer. And especially the recent developments such as ChatGPT, etc., gives is one of the reasons why people say we are close. Now, going back to the other point about machine learning, deep learning, and stuff like that, over the last 15, 20 years, a new approach towards building the narrow AI systems, the specialized AI systems, has been created, and that is machine learning. In case of machine learning, the simple approach is you collect a lot of data, which is called as the historical data in the past, solving that particular problem. For example, you might have had lenders in the bank. You might have loan officers in the bank who would get requests for loans. And based on various criteria, they would decide whether to give a loan to a person or not to give to a loan to a person. So the banks might have had a lot of historical data about who was given loan and who was not given a loan. So that's the historical data. So the machine learning approach is you take all this historical data, and instead of humans trying to analyze the historical data to identify patterns, what you do is you take this historical data, identify some algorithms, and give the historical data to the algorithm, and the algorithm figures out the patterns in the historical data, and the algorithm builds the model that can do the prediction, that can make the decision based on the patterns that the model has learned with the help of the algorithm. That's the approach that is typically called as the machine learning approach.
Let's continue our discussion and talk about ChatGPT. What is
Sure.
ChatGPT and what kind of AI system ChatGPT uses and how does it really work?
So, ChatGPT is all about a chatbot that can exhibit human like intelligence. Pretty much everybody must have experienced ChatGPT that appeared late last year in 2022. And the capabilities of ChatGPT really, what should I say, opened many people's eyes. It was some sort of a big jump in terms of the capabilities of the narrow AI systems. But let's talk about what are the basic thing, what's the basic fundamental uh, capability that ChatGPT has. If you boil down the details, I mean, there are a lot of details. It's a complex system. It's a humongously large system with a lot of parameters, a lot of training, a lot of money being spent, millions of dollars that you need to create a model. But ChatGPT again is a model. Again, pretty much all AI systems are building models. Models like the mental model in your brain and stuff like that. But we are building these models. So ChatGPT is a model. And what does that model do? Very simply put, the model is all about predicting, given a set of words, the model is predicting which should be the next word that should appear, and the next word, and the next word, and the next word, until you build that one long 500 word paragraph or a 250 word paragraph and stuff like that. That indeed is what ChatGPT does. It's all about predicting what is the next word. In some sense, if you think about it, if you're, I'm sure your subscribers will question this, it is like autocomplete, but it is autocomplete on steroids. You have seen autocomplete when when you might have been sending emails or on your phone and stuff like that. You have seen autocomplete, but this is autocomplete on steroids because the autocomplete that you have experienced before ChatGPT is just about the next three, four words, five words. It would not complete given any topic. It could not do the autocomplete. Given ask it to write very large, humongous essays, it would not. Be able to do the autocomplete. So that's why I call it as autocomplete on steroids. That's what ChatGPT and the other variants. I mean, Bing has their own variants again, which is based on ChatGPT. Bard has come up with their own version, and other systems also. The chatbots, which are based on the GPT technology, it's all about trying to determine or trying to predict which should be the next word given a set of words. That's what it is.
Yes, great. So, Which kind of use cases ChatGPT and the technology behind ChatGPT will impact? There are also rumors that ChatGPT is going to take all human jobs away.
Oh yeah, I mean, chat. You must have heard, especially if you are on Twitter, you are like many people, especially when ChatGPT came out, are all about, oh, ChatGPT will take over the world. All of us are going to become unemployed and stuff like that. But again, if you go back to what I said earlier, it's all about predicting the next word. By the way, the technology behind ChatGPT, I mean, the first level technology is called as the GPT. And then GPT itself was based on something else called transformers, which is based on a famous paper out of Google called Attention is All You Need, that appeared in about 2017. But this technology of transformers has been used not only in the natural language domain, which is what you see in the form of ChatGPT, but it is also used in the domain of images. You must have seen images from various projects or various different organizations, such as Stable Diffusion. You might have seen Midjourney, or you give it a text and it produces the corresponding image, or you might give it an image and it produces some modified version of the image. So all these pretty much at some level they have similar technology which is based on this technology called transformers. So now, what are the different areas where this technology can be used? Definitely it can be used to make humans much more productive in various areas such as copywriting, writing books, creating web pages, various things like that. Similarly, in terms of designing logos, the designers and all that. So this will definitely impact some people who are at the lower end of the spectrum in terms of these skills. But people who can adapt these technologies, the technology on which ChatGPT and Midjourney and all these are based, I strongly believe this will only make humans much more efficient than what we are. So different jobs where you need to communicate information to the other people, whether in the form of text or in the form of images, etc. You can definitely use this GPT and its technology to make humans much more efficient. So in that sense, it is not going to replace human jobs. It's just going to add more jobs, and it's going to give us the capability to do a lot more things.
So artificial intelligence and ChatGPT sound great. Everyone is talking about them these days, and a lot of people want to learn these subjects more and want to start their learning journey. So if someone wants to get started, they don't know much about it. They want to get started, learn, and perhaps start a professional journey in these domains. How do they get started?
So there are different opportunities in this area, Faisal. It depends on what exactly does the person want to achieve. For example, if the person is not of a programming background, it's a different set of skills that the person can develop. The person can try to figure out these different tools that others have built and figure out how these tools can be used to enhance the job that the person has. But let me focus on somebody whose interest is more in the programming, because that's more of my background. For people who are willing to jump into and get into the programming aspect of it, if they don't have any programming background but are willing to build that, I would recommend trying to build their knowledge in the area of Python, because Python is a language where many people have example code that you can leverage and try to build systems. So, and to get started in Python, there are several resources on the web, or you can, and once you have some idea of Python, you can also go to this website called Kaggle.com. They have quite a few tutorials that will help you build your knowledge in the concepts of machine learning and the coded aspect of machine learning. So Kaggle, Kaggle.com, if they go out there, they can see different example tutorials, example for beginners. And once they do that, then they could look at the different competitions on Kaggle, or there's another website that I like, another project that I like, fast.ai. That is also a very good website to start learning about these things. And then I would just say, once you have these things under your belt, then start trying to do the coding, trying to follow some different people on Twitter, trying to look at some of the code, trying to identify some problems and try to build something. You might get into some challenges, but you know the good thing about this? The good thing is, if you ask ChatGPT about portion of code where you are stuck or you don't understand, ChatGPT pretty much has been doing a good job in terms of explaining what it is. So learn Python, get into Kaggle, use ChatGPT as the assistant out here to learn programming, and then start getting your hands dirty by trying to solve certain problems and stuff like that. That is what my recommendation would be for people who want to get into the programming aspect of it. In addition to this, there are also jobs related to what is called as data engineering, machine learning operations, or now with the large language models, which is the technology behind ChatGPT, etc., LLM ops and stuff like that. There are jobs in many of these different areas. So if you're tech savvy but not programming oriented, then you could also look at these different tools. AWS SageMaker is one of these tools that you can use to deploy the complete machine learning system. And there are skill shortages, not enough people available who can understand the end-to-end aspect of deploying a complete machine learning system and stuff like that. So those would be some of the would be some of the recommendations that I would have from my personal perspective.
One of the segment we always have in our shows is uh, any research areas or open challenges still to be solved in a domain. So in this case, in AI and ChatGPT, if there are any research areas or open challenges, you will you would want to recommend to entrepreneurs who are watching or students who are watching. So any such advice on areas people can focus
Sure. I
on?
mean, that's a very big question, and I might not do justice to it because I myself have been diving slowly getting the different aspects of it. But let me tell you a mental model that I use when I think of this area. So I compare this with the app store that Apple uh, built initially, whenever it was, I forget, 2008, 2009, 2010. So App Store was created and it was made possible. I mean, it was made available to everybody. And now what did people do? People started building different type of apps using the capability of the App Store. So there are a lot of possibilities for entrepreneurs and researchers in terms of what type of apps are possible that can be built using the LLM platform, which is what ChatGPT did. So ChatGPT introduced this platform, but now there are different companies. As I said, just yesterday I heard about Llama 2 being another GPT-like model. Chat GPT has its own model, the GPT model, GPT-3, GPT-4, etc. They keep on advancing that. So when you talk about entrepreneurs doing something, one is you take the platform that is given to you and build different type of applications that can solve problems for human lives, problems in different areas. There are a lot of these applications on this platform that I've seen. So that's one area where you can see. I mean, if you might be in a particular niche area and you think that the GPT technology can help to make that whole area more efficient, that's an area that you could look at. Or the other area is these models themselves. So these models currently are not all the way there. So the point that I want to make is these models, the model that ChatGPT is based on, GPT-3, GPT-4, etc., the other models like Llama 1, Llama 2, etc., that Facebook is building, Google has its own model, Anthropic, another company, have this own model. So if you have a lot of money, millions of dollars, then you could also look at how can you take these models and make them more efficient. The models have lot of parameters, billions of parameters. How can you reduce the number of parameters so that you can run these models on devices like this, although they already are? But that's another area that you could look at. So in short, two areas. One is the model area themselves. So how can you make the models more efficient? How can you make the models smaller? And secondly, the different applications that run on these models. What are the different types of applications that can be created using the capabilities of these models, capabilities that are possible now and capabilities that are possible in the future?
Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Farooq, for all these insights. I'm sure our audience would have benefited a lot from your insights and all the details you shared.
My pleasure out here, Faisal. And again, thank you for giving me the time. Looking forward to talking to you again in the future.
Sure.
Take care.